Ye gallants of Newgate, whose fingers are nice in diving of pockets or cogging of dice. Ye sharpers so rich who can buy off the noose, ye honest poor rogues who will die in your shoes. Attendant, draw near, good news ye shall hear, how Jonathan's throat was cut from ear to ear. How blues can sharp penknife has set ye at ease.
Well, greetings and welcome back to Scoundrel's Alley Short. This is part 2 of our Scoundrel's Alley Short sessions on card games, period games that you would have played historically in the 18th century, 19th century. They date back to earlier. Actually, we're sitting here waiting for the rain to get out. We're in our Stopo Abbey. This time we're conveniently located near Spirit of Vincennes Rendezvous, which starts in 2 days. So we decided to go ahead and film today because there's nothing else to do. The whole gang's here with it. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
All right, very good. The game we want to introduce today is called Rancher Go Round. It's a 17th century card game originally called Cuckoo or Cuckoo. Now, this game, oddly enough, even though it's one of many that still exist and are still played today, it's one of the few that's played identical to the way it was originally. I first started playing this game back in the 1980s, actually 1980, when I was at Milligan College in Tennessee. It was one of the games we played at poker night. I know Milligan College, good Christian college. Yes, we did play poker. Whatever. One of the games we played, we didn't call it Rancher Go Round. It went by another name that we shan't say. But the game itself, again, is 17th century. It's a game that can be played by any number of people. We're going to play with 4 of us, because that's what we are, 4 of us. 5, 6, 8, 10, 1 or 2, 3, doesn't really matter. The game itself uses a full deck of cards, a French deck, which we discussed in our last video. 52 cards, ace through king, hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades. In this case, the ace is going to be low. That's the lowest card. Keep that in mind in just a moment. Now, this game was a gambling game. It was also just a family joyful game, a game you could play. When I was in college, we would play it for quarters. Today, what we're going to use and what you might want to use if you're going to play it with your family, we're just going to use these glass beads. You get a certain amount of beads. Everyone gets, in our case, we're going to play with 5. What's going to happen is the loser of each round will put a coin or a marker in the middle, and the last person who still has coins, of course, then would win the whole pot. That's if you were playing for money. If you were just playing for family, friends, it's just whoever has the last, they get the bragging rights. So step on over to the table and let's get started. Well, here we are. We're all set up. We've each got 5 markers apiece. Those are yours, not mine. We've got our deck of cards, 52 cards, hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades. They have been completely shuffled. They are shuffled to the best of our ability. They are completely randomly shuffled. I did it myself, so you can trust me. In this particular game, the only thing you're trying to be is not the lowest card. Remember, aces are low and king is high. If I happen to give you a king, you're going to turn it up. The dealer starts by dealing to everybody 1 card, in which you get to look at the card. If you have a king, you'll turn it face up because you're safe. Now, starting with the elder, and if you remember from our talk last week, the elder is always to the person on the dealer's left. They would start. She looks at the card and decides to herself, do I want to keep this card? Do I think it's going to be higher than someone else, or do I want to trade it? And the person she would trade with would be the person to her left. In this case, Susan would be trading with Carol. If Susan wants to do it, Carol has no choice.
So I have a 6. 6 is kind of low. In some cases it could beat someone else, but in my case, because we're at the beginning of the game, I'm going to trade my 6 and hope that Carol has something higher.
As you can see, I have a 4, so she's not going to get a higher card. She's going to get the lower card. But since I now have her 6, I know that I beat her, so I'm going to hang on to it.
She would have traded with Frank. So now if she's going to hold, it now goes to Frank. Frank is going to can keep or trade with me.
And you know, if she had traded with me and I had had a 2, then or an ace, she would have then lost. Yeah. But I've got a jack, and that's a pretty sure thing that I'm just staying.
You're going to hold, all right. I have a 5. My option is to keep it or trade with the deck. If 5 is not a good hand, I wouldn't know when everyone has. I'm going to trade anyway. I'm going to trade for a 10. We all now show our cards, and the lowest card, Susan,
Darn.
puts the coin in. These are now out of play, and they're just going to set them aside until the end of the game. So if you can count cards or remember, you can get somewhat of a leg up on this. This is very much of a luck game, though. There's not a lot of skill to it because you don't have a lot of choice when you first begin. Again, if you have a king, turn it over. Carol is safe, so now Susan's choice would be to trade with Frank.
I'm trading.
You didn't show a card.
Oh, I didn't know if we were supposed to or we're just...
I now have this card, which is the lowest card that I know of, except for what he has. So I am definitely going to trade with him.
He trades a 4. I had a jack, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to trade my 4 because I know I can't beat the jack, and I have a 7.
And a 6.
And Susan
So once again, Susan has to pay. I'm not liking this game very much.
All right. One more round like this, and then we'll play the game out.
Okay, so I go first, and I happen to have a queen, and I am keeping it. Carol's not getting my queen.
I have a 7. The 7 and 8 are hard numbers to hold to because they're right in the middle. It could be that I could be higher than somebody else, but it could also mean that I could be lower than somebody else. So I'm going to go on and trade it off to Frank. And I got a 9 in return. Better choice.
So here we are. We've got 3 people in, and I now have the 7. I wouldn't know what Susan would have had, but I know that I'm lower between the 2 here. So obviously, I have nothing to lose than to trade the card.
And it's been going around, and I had a jack, so I'm going to trade my 7 for a 2.
At least I don't have to pay.
All right. All right. Now I pay. All right. So let's just play it around. Now we play it without telling you what we have. That was just for demonstration. This is how the game would have been played.
Look at that.
I'm going to trade.
I'm going to trade.
I have a 4. I have a 6.
And I'm low again.
So being in the 3rd position here, it's kind of nice that
you get to watch people around.
I get to watch everybody around. And
Trading.
Now I have a king, so he can't trade with me, but he can trade now with the deck.
I am going to trade with the deck.
No, the ace, yeah.
We had 2 aces.
Oh my.
So what would have happened if we both had the ace?
If you both low, you both put in.
Both would have put in.
But in this case,
That's the 3rd hand I've lost.
well, not that anybody's counting.
No.
I'm going to trade.
Got one of those, huh? I think I'll trade.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to trade.
All right. Oh, I'm trading.
Ooh.
Right
Now you both put in.
We're both put in because we're both low.
Both are low. Carol's getting down there.
That's right. I'm about to go under.
Trade.
Trade.
I'm staying.
I'll trade.
And I'm out.
Interestingly enough, Carol is out, but this is the only game that I've ever found where Carol can, until the game is done, Carol can beg, plead, borrow, or anything. If any of us feel like we will give her a coin, she can get right back in.
You're the one that's knocked me out for 3.
All right, I'll give you this clear one.
That's right. The one that's not like any others.
That's right. That's right. Do it, not do it. Play it well.
Ooh.
Well, we know what she has.
Yeah.
She's got that middle range card.
That's right.
Susan has no poker face.
That's
if you
right,
want to
I
play
don't.
with
It's
somebody,
like,
play with Susan.
Yeah.
Susan's tails.
Okay, I'm going to trade. I'm
feeling-
taking a chance. Woohoo!
Do I trust you? Do I not trust you?
I gave you a.
All right.
I gave
I'm
you a
trading
token.
with you.
Are you trading with me?
Yes.
All right, I'll have to trade.
All right. Well, I'm giving you a jack.
Oh, good.
I'm going to trade for. Oh well.
So again, coming in 3rd, I know my chances are pretty certain that.
Trade.
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 Susan
I'm
gets a
gonna
bad
trade.
card
Yeah.
and it goes all
Oh,
the
I
way
get
around.
the king. I get the king.
Ah, shucks, I'm low man.
All right, we are down to 2 cards, so all the cards are gathered up. The deal passes to the left of the dealer with the elder. So now Susan is the dealer, and Carol becomes the elder.
Okay.
I did forget to point out that the suits mean nothing in this game. We're only interested in the numerical value.
Okay, well, I'm
So
out.
so
It's
then
just
I
you
had
and
a
me.
10,
But
and
I
you
had-
all had 10s.
No, we had kings.
We had kings. Faces are more than numbers.
Well, that's not what you just said.
Uh-huh.
Frank wins!
Yay!
So the person who should be against, according to our film last week, against gaming, has just beaten us all. Well, that's
Even the card shark.
That's right, even the card shark.
that's how Round-Go-Round's played. Well, that's the game. I hope you enjoy it. If you'd like to play the game and don't want to go back through with a notebook and pencil and try to write everything down, in the description below, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to our website, scoundrelsalley.net, and in it there will be a file where I'll have some PDFs listing and with the game itself. I'll do it twice. I'll do it as a PDF in period font so you can print it out and have it at your historical event if you want, and I'll do a regular font that you can actually read. But if you do have any questions, again, you know the link. I'm Eric at fairwinds.com or Eric at scoundrelsalley.net, whichever is easier. Scoundrelsalley.net. You can catch us at fairwinds.com, parsonjohn.org. Questions, comments, complaints, arguments, recipes you want to share. I don't know, whatever. I'm a fat guy. I like to eat. Anyway, other than that, for those of you that we've already seen at Spirit of Vincennes Rendezvous, glad to have seen you. And for those of you who we did get to see, we hope to see you down the road. Again, if you have any questions or comments, let us know. Thanks. And remember, as always, you know, my character Christopher Bodkin would say, don't play this for money.
Who steal the king's gold and leave him but a crown. Some say there are peers and some parliament men who meet once a year to rob courtiers again. Let them all take their swing to pillage the king and get a blue ribbon instead of a string. Now blueskins sharp penknife has set ye at ease, and every man round me may rob if he please.